Okay, welcome to the last part of the podcast. I'm Layla, and I'm going to be talking about intercultural communication, like the effects on it. I guess like pros. I'm not gonna say pros and cons, but like just how it affects social media, conflict, and just conflict resolution, and just simple stuff like that. Imagine stepping into a room where no one speaks the same language as you, eats the same foods, or even shares the same customs. At first, it might seem uncomfortable, maybe even intimidating. But what if I told you that you just walked into a room full of opportunity? That's the power of intercultural communication, the ability to connect, understand, and collaborate across all different types of cultures. Intercultural communication is the exchange of information between two people from different backgrounds. It's not just about language, but it also includes body language, values, social norms, and even our concept of time. In our globalized world, intercultural communication is not optional. Whether you're working in a multinational company, studying abroad, or even simply just using social media, you're you're engaging with people from different backgrounds all the time, every single day. Misunderstandings can easily arise, but so can meaningful, lasting connections if we know how to communicate with each other effectively. But let's be real, it's not always easy. For example, in some cultures, direct eye contact it may be seen as a sign of confidence, while in others, it's a sign of disrespect. In the West, we often value individualism, speaking up and being assertive. But in many Eastern cultures, harmony and group consensus are more important than standing out. Even silence has different meanings. In Japan, silence can be shown as respect, while in the US, it may be shown as awkward or even show disinterest. Without understanding these differences, we might misinterpret intentions, create conflict, or even offend someone without even realizing it. Think about it like this. In the US, it's common for us to speak our mind. Maybe in other places, it's not. It's common to stay quiet and to respecting, but here we value punctuality. But in countries such as India or Brazil, being a little late, that's nothing. It's not shown as disrespectful, while over here, that might even be shown as a sign of disrespect over there, but that's their normal. Or let's consider body language. In many Middle Eastern cultures, using your left hand instead of your right to offer someone something is shown as a sign of disrespect. But over here, it's a normal. We do it on the normal. We just hand stuff with right or left without even realizing it because it's just that's our normal. A thumbs up may be a sign of approval in some places, but it may be shown as offensive in others. These subtle details can shape how our messages are received and whether we connect or cause conflict. In today's interconnected world, understanding these differences is more important than ever before. You don't have to be traveling across the globe for you to be impactful. Intercultural communication also plays a key role in conflict resolution. When people from different backgrounds work together, clashes can occur not because of bad intentions but because of different interpretations of behavior. For example, a manager from a culture that values hierarchy might expect employees to wait for direction, while team members from another culture may expect open collaboration. Without awareness, both sides can feel disrespected or frustrated. However, with intercultural competence, individuals learn to ask clarifying questions and view situations from multicultural lenses. Technology also adds complexity to the intercultural communication. Emojis, punctuations, or even speed of response can mean different things in different cultures. For instance, a thumbs up emoji may be friendly in one culture, but offensive in another. Short replies might be seen as rude in one place, but efficient and professional in another. Knowing this helps avoid digital misunderstandings. Furthermore, intercultural communication fosters empathy. When we take the time to understand someone else's worldview, we develop deeper compassion. This doesn't just benefit workplace or academic setting, it strengthens personal relationships, reduces stereotypes, and helps build inclusive communities. It's not just a skill for travelers, it's a life skill for anyone living in a multicultural world. Also, concepts of personal space vary widely. In some cultures, close physical proximity during conversation is normal and builds rapport. In others, that same distance might feel intrusive or aggressive. For example, people in the Middle East and Mediterranean cultures often stand closer when speaking, while those in Northern Europe or even North America may prefer more space. Humor is another major challenge. What's funny in one culture might be confusing or even offensive in another. Jokes often rely on wordplay, social norms, or pop culture references that don't translate well. Understanding these subtle areas of communication, emotion, space, and humor helps us not to avoid misunderstandings but form deeper, more respectful human connections across cultures. So now the real question is, how do we improve intercultural communication? One way is by being curious and staying non-judgmental. Ask questions, be open. If something feels unfamiliar, explore it with curiosity rather than criticism. Every culture has reasons for doing things a certain way. Now, number 2, practice active listening. Listen not just to respond but to understand. Pay attention to tone, body language, and what's left unsaid. 3. Learn cultural norms. Even basic knowledge about another culture's values, greetings, or etiquette can go a long way in building trust and avoiding offense. Number 4 is be aware of your own culture. We all carry cultural assumptions. Understanding your own communication style helps you adapt to be more flexible when interacting with others. And the last one is use clear, simple language. Avoid idioms, slang, or humor that may not translate well. Sometimes that makes perfect sense in one culture but can be totally confusing or offensive in another. So to wrap up this part of my section in this video slash podcast, intercultural communication is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about listening, learning, and being willing to step out of your comfort zone. Because when we connect across cultures, we don't just exchange words, we exchange worldviews, we build empathy, trust, and ultimately a more connected and compassionate world. Thank you for listening to my portion of the podcast, and I really hope you enjoyed and learned something new today.